Amongst many other distinctions, Theo Dorgan is a widely published poet, editor of the Great Book of Ireland, former director of Poetry Ireland, and a member of O'9. His most recent publications include Orpheus, published by Daedalus Press, and Bailead Gifógacha, published by Cushcame.
Three poems about Cork, two long ones and a short one. I'm not sure what that's the Morse code for. Closed circuit. The light of evening falls in swathes over the north side of the Blackpool. Children are rolling downhill in the long grasses of Bell's Field, over and over, elbows tucked tight, drenched in the smell of earth. They never seem to hit rocks or roll in the signature of the city. Broken glass. Laughter and light trip memory inward. Rooftops press forward some long-forgotten summer, and I fall in delicious vertigo into a classroom where I sit silent, staring. Even that youngest swallow, climbing on leaf smoke, starting on the miraculous journey south, bends downwind for home, though he has never been there. I sat in the smell of wood and chalk dust, baked in the sun with smell of the slaughterhouse, my mind soaring through the roof, neck hairs bristling. I hung for hours over familiar lanes and streets, picturing another home in another country. The calls of my classmates after school were high, wide and shrill, familiar and alien. The memory neither fades nor fails to haunt. Afternoon music over North African streets. And today, I think you are a village in those mountains. There are squares and fountains, wells of cool darkness in the centre of each house, the walls soaked in a whiteness that makes the heart ache. Every house is a house of mystery. Even the scrubbed tables are blessed with the imprint of your daily use and habit. Open the drab green shutters and lean out. I have been flying to you since childhood, and I thirst for the shock of your fountains, the cool shade of your care. Let me roll like a child forever in your hair. A Nocturne for Blackpool, for Mechanican. Dolphins are coursing in the blue air outside of the window, and the sparkling stars are oxygen bubbling to the moon. At the end of the terrace, unicorns scuff asphalt, one with her neck stretched on the cool roof of a car. A key rasps in the latch, milk bottles click on a sill, a truck heading for Mallow roars, changing gear on a hill. The electric hum of the brewery whines, then drops in pitch, ground bass for the Nocturne of Blackpool. The ghost of Inspector Swansea creeps down Hardick Street. McCurtain turns down the counterpane of a bed he'll never sleep in. Unquiet murmurs scold from the blue slate rooftops, the death squad no one had thought to guard against. The young sunburned hurlers flex in their beds, dreaming of glory, great deeds on the playing fields, half days from school, while their slightly older sisters dream of men and pain, an equation to be puzzled out again and again. Wallou Delay, homeward bound on the Commons Road, belts out airs from Trovatore, the recipe as before, nobody stirs from sleep, and puzzled a judge, contented, pokes at ashes. For as many a man could learn today from what that man said. North Chapel, the Assumption, Farnferris and Blackpool. The mass of the church in stone rears like rock from the sea, but the interlaced lanes flick with submarine life, older than priests can or want to understand. This woman believed Jack Lynch stood next to God, who broke the Republic. This man beyond, his face turned to the wall, stares at his friend whose face will not cease from burning in the icy sea, torpedoed off Murmansk from a tanker. He shot him. Now nightly he watches him sink. Here is a woman the wrong side of 40, sightless in her kitchen as she struggles to make sense of the redundancy notice of her boorish son just home 4 years on the dole, foul-mouthed, for a husband who has aged 10 years in as many days. The bells of Shandon jolt like electricity through lovers in a cold water flat beneath the attic of a house in Hatton's Alley. The ghost of Frank O'Connor smiles on Fever Hospital steps as Mon boys go by arguing about first pints of stout and Che Guevara. The unicorns of legend are the donkeys of childhood. Nobody knows that better than we know it ourselves. But we know also that dolphins are coursing through the blue air outside our windows, and the sparking stars are oxygen bubbling to the moon. We are who we are and what we do. We study indifference in a hard school and in a hard time, but we keep the skill to make legend of the ordinary. We keep an eye on the slow clock of history in Blackpool. Jesus himself, as we say around here, was born in a stable. And a short poem for Jerry Murphy, a neighbour of ours. The lift of a linnet's wing was all he asked, with the fog a light gold over the brewery and the bells tumbling over sweet Blackpool from the North Chapel, Shandon, the Assumption. To be standing on Richmond Hill and the pale sun shining, a day in October, the air clear in his head. Nothing out of the ordinary. A simple, perfect moment. The lift of a linnet's wing was all he asked for and got.